Hi, I'm Carol Ribeiro, and I'm the lower school counselor here at North Cobb Christian. And I wanted to talk to you today about having courageous conversations with kids of all ages. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I go about having these really courageous conversations with my kids and what I see really works. I think of it more like a discipling or like an on-the-job training. I talk to my kids a lot about things that we see come up in the spur of the moment spontaneously. So I make time to spend time with my kids, as I'm sure you guys do too. And when things happen, like we happen to listen to something on the news, or we happen to hear some kind of song or something that is a valuable conversation to have, I bring it out and I say, did you notice that this and this was in there? What do you think about that? And then I ask them to tell me more if I want them to elaborate, because I always want to know where they're at and what they already know. And then I can, share what I feel about that is, what the values that I get from that are. And we always talk about, what might God think about what's going on? How might God want us to respond? And so there's also always this feeling that there are things that we have no control over, and that can be scary. And sharing with our kids that we feel afraid to talk about that or afraid of what's going on and we don't know, that might be really reassuring for our kids, because they need to know that, sometimes even adults don't know all of the answers, and that it's okay not to know. And then you tell them what to do with those feelings. When I don't know what to do, I just, trust God. I look to Scripture to see what the Scripture might tell me about what it says about the topic. And if I feel like those feelings are really overwhelming for me, then I know where to go to find help. And so maybe you could guide your children to seeing, I'd always love for you to come to me. Or maybe you could reach out to someone else. Who can you reach out to for help if you needed to? Kind of gauging where they are when they're searching for help and who they might go to, and if they feel safe enough to go to someone else. And there are so many important topics that we can talk to our kids about. I love talking to them about, simple things like friendships, and how friendships are hard work, and how it takes a lot of investment in people to have friendships, and setting those realistic expectations to how friendships work. Like, you can't have an unlimited amount of friends. It just takes a lot of investment. So you choose your friends very wisely. That kind of topic, to what do you do when you feel worried or anxious, and what does that feel like in your body? How do you feel better if you have those feelings? And we talk about everything, including, dating, even at a very young age. I feel like that conversation needs to be a frequently had conversation. You're never really finished teaching them about how to deal with friends, or how to deal with dating, or how to deal with drugs, or even really young kids at 3 or 4, they might notice that, family members or friends are having, are together or dating, and you can use that opportunity to talk to them at that level. Yes, they're together, and whenever you get older and then you set your expectations, maybe in high school or college, that, that might be something that you might want to do, and then you set your family's values. So it's important to have all of these challenging conversations with our kids. And I think that the takeaway for that is that you need to set a specific time where you're encouraging your kid and you're providing that information to them. So I recommend thinking about times where it's more quiet, like right before bedtime is usually a really great time to have that one-on-one time with each child. In car rides, because you're not face to face, and so those difficult conversations are more easily had. Another time is if you do something that you both enjoy, that the kids enjoy doing with you. That's a really wonderful time. You find one of their hobbies and you do it together, and then maybe you bring up something that's been on your mind or their mind. So there are many great opportunities to have these wonderful conversations with your kids. And I think that one of the things I always tell my kids is that I love you no matter what you do. Nothing will ever change that. So I love you no matter what you do, and nothing can ever change that. And you're safe to tell me anything that you feel like you need to share. I'm always here. Or when we talk about a really challenging conversation, I also say something like, I'm here to talk to you more about this anytime that you need. And so always know that I'm always here for you. So I want to leave you with this one last thing. When we're discipling our kids through life and teaching them these lessons, there's always this process, this internalized process that we go through. So first of all, we identify our feelings, what we're feeling about a certain topic, and then we process those feelings. And the last step is we decide what we're going to do, the action or problem solve for that feeling and need. So we as adults know how to process that automatically. It comes naturally to us, and we've had years of practice going through those steps. But whenever we externalize that process, when we talk to our kids with words and tell them how we go through that process, we accelerate their learning in that process, so they get to learn through your example all of your life experiences. So identifying the feeling and then going through processing that feeling and then problem solving is a really great way to have those courageous conversations with your kids.